Welcome to Title Talk with your host, Drew Wishover, entrepreneur, a published author, and owner of Inspired Title Group, along with his co-host and CEO, Amy Maley. Each week, they offer you some laughs, industry terminology, tips and strategies, along with the occasional real estate professional to help educate you as it pertains to buying, selling, or just plain old homeownership. Thanks for spending time with them. Now, let's jump into today's episode of Title Talk.
Oh, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Now there's three. Look at that. Last week there was two, now there's three. We just keep multiplying and growing. We're like rabbits. This is crazy. Welcome to Title Talk. My name is Drew.
And my name is Amy.
We are sitting here with our special guest. We are so thankful and excited to have him here today. Colin Egglesfield. Colin, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
So great. This is so wonderful.
Welcome.
It's so nice to be a special guest.
And
Very special.
You are the most special guest that we've ever had
I'm sure
on
you
the
tell
history
that
of the
to
show.
all of your guests, but
No, I've never said it one time, except for now, that you are the most special guest we've had. Not to offend those other guests that we've had.
I was going to say, no, good luck ever getting a guest again.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay. Well, then, you know what? But I went out on a high note.
You did.
I went out with the big guy. So, if you guys don't know Colin, I'm going to let him introduce himself and tell you a little bit about him. We're going to talk a lot about Colin and what he does and how it kind of relates to some things that we're doing together and some opportunities that we've kind of worked together on. But we wanted to let him do this and be here with us. We've been asking for this for a lot of time, and he's
Have
a busy
you?
guy. Yeah,
Yeah, he's
You're
asked me like
kind of
100
annoying.
times.
He's
I'm like,
kind of like-
fine, Drew.
Yeah.
I will.
I'll
do
be here
your
for-
show.
I've got nothing else to do today.
It's like that thing on your shoulder.
Right.
It's like,
That's who I am. I figure if I nag enough, I'm gonna get him.
so don't say, shut
Guess
the
who got him?
up.
Nah,
I think it's the other way around. I've been like, Drew, can I please be on your podcast? Like, please. You're like, Colin, I will try to fit you in. And finally, it's been about a year, and here I am. So thank you so much, guys.
Oh.
It's so great
This
to
is
be
great.
here.
We're gonna move on a little bit here too to talking about, you had made some mention to being a real estate investor and
How the heck
doing
does that happen?
How do you tie
Yeah,
the
what is
actor and
that?
realtor together?
What is that segue? How did that
Well,
happen?
look at Hollywood. Look at all these real estate reality shows, Property Brothers, and
Uh-huh.
Fixer Upper, and
Yeah.
Flip or Flop. I mean,
Yep.
that's how it really started.
Uh-huh.
Watching all these shows, I was like,
I could do this.
most of the wealthy people that out there
Yeah.
own real estate in one
Yes.
way or another.
Yes, that's
Are
true.
related with real estate. I've read Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Yeah.
And just starting to recognize as an actor, you never know when your next acting job is going to be. So there's a lot of uncertainty with when your next paycheck is coming.
Right.
So I wanted to invite some more financial security into my life so that I could not have to walk into an audition
Right.
with the pressure of, oh shit, I better book this job to be able to pay my rent this month.
Right.
Because that
That's not
never
a good way,
works.
yeah.
No.
You want to be able to go do what you want to do because for the love of it,
Right.
because people can smell desperation a mile away.
Yep.
Oh, yes.
So I was like, I need to get the financial part of what I'm doing squared away so that I can just do what I love to do, which is acting.
Mm-hmm.
So I started watching these reality shows, and I saw on Facebook that there was Tarek and Christina from Flip
Yeah.
Flop.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They were a part of this real estate education
Yeah,
program.
absolutely. They went out in
And
the community.
so I took their course
Yeah.
and learned how to flip houses, and it's definitely not as easy as it.
Colin.
Yeah, you just find a house
I can't
and you
believe
hire a contractor,
fell for that.
and then I was like, and then after like I'm sitting there like with owning 3 houses in the south side of Chicago, and like I walk in and contractor didn't show up, and
Right.
the plumbing looked like a Tinker toy set,
Right.
and I was like, I don't know plumbing, but that doesn't look right.
Yeah.
And now what do I do? Because we only have like a certain amount of money left
Right.
in escrow from the construction draw,
Yes.
and then it became like, okay, I need to start working with experts, because one of the things I learned is that if you're starting something new, do it with someone who's done it before,
Yes.
who can show you the ropes. Whereas me and my acting classmate, we just jumped in, and they were just like, "Yeah, just buy these houses. You can buy it with hard money." And I'm like, "Hard money? What's that? What's
Expensive money.
Yeah.
Really, really
And
expensive
before you
money.
know it, we found ourselves in these situations where we were like, okay, we don't know what we're doing. And it was more so, how can we get out of this with the least amount of loss?
Right.
And
God,
it's
that's
those
so- yeah.
hard lessons, but you learn from those lessons. And now, 6 years later, my dad passed away 5 years ago, and a big reason why I'm doing this as well is because after he passed away, my mom, she just didn't have that financial security that we wanted to provide for her,
Right.
my brother and my sister.
Mhm.
And so that's when I really started to look into real estate and
Yeah.
getting rental properties so that my mom we could start growing this portfolio to allow my mom to, she's from Ireland, as I mentioned.
Very cool.
She loves to go to travel. And
Yeah.
I want to make sure my mom has an amazing life.
Sure.
So I was like, how can I make sure that she's not having to watch a budget where she can
Right.
do the things that she wants to
For
do?
sure.
And so that's when I really started looking into shifting from the fix and flip to the acquiring rental properties. And so my mom and I own 2 rental properties in the south side of Chicago right now. Looking to acquire some more at the moment. And it's been an amazing learning experience.
Oh, sure.
It hasn't been
Yeah.
easy, but working with people like yourself, and I love the name of your title company,
That's why I did
Inspire,
it. Mhm.
which is the name of my course that I teach. It's a 6-week
I know, I
goal-setting
heard it.
course.
Mhm.
But this whole real estate
You are.
thing has
I was
been,
first.
Right.
I was before him. He pirated it off of me.
But definitely anyone out there who's looking to get into doing some real estate, I would
Yeah.
highly recommend calling Drew or reaching out to me or anyone else. Join your local real estate investment group
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
just start learning from experienced investors and just go.
Yeah, you got it. And that's a really great tip too, because I think when I first met you, we were talking about you doing one of your first projects.
How
and
did you
things.
guys meet?
We met through an attorney,
For the universe to
through
hear it.
Faisal, through one of our attorneys.
We
Really?
manifested each other.
Yeah, and we literally, like, he didn't show up on one of the talks that we were doing, so
He didn't.
Faisal didn't show up, so we did one of the talks together.
Okay.
We were thrown into it, not knowing,
Yeah.
how to do any of the
Interesting.
show,
Okay.
and we did it, and some of the things I talked about, Colin went, wait a minute,
That's
what do you mean?
Wait, your title group is called
Yeah,
Inspire?
Exactly.
That's
Interesting.
amazing.
I gotta
Yeah.
do construction escrow, you guys hold all the money, why would I do? Because we protect you. I need to talk to you. Yes, sir, you do.
Interesting.
And we
Okay.
literally just evolved from that, and, we've closed a couple of his transactions, the St.
Yes.
Louis property that you just bought, and now you're gonna sell after remodeling it, we're doing, that stuff, but then we talked about even doing a flip or flop type show, and, there was a lot of conversation about that, but I think then you got really educated on going, it's not that easy, it's just not like it is on the
Yeah.
show.
Yeah.
And it's not. We've been telling listeners that for a very long period of time, that unfortunately, the reality is that the people think that they watch these shows and it's just boom, done, I got this. And they don't have any of the obstacles that you experienced, like contractors walking off, permits, and all of the ridiculousness. They don't really show you the horror stories. And I think that that's a show in its own. I think there's literally a show to do about, more flop than flip.
Like the
and
reality
show
behind.
the reality of
Yeah.
that, because we've lived that and you know that oh so well.
Yeah.
And as a title company and as a guy who has done a lot of the remodeling and investing and has a development company also called Inspired Development, we've run into our own obstacles with that. We've run into our own issues with nobody wanting to work in the world of what it is. So I think that there's a lot to be said for that. And I think it would tame some of the interest that people are just jumping into this and muddying this down to what was really once a great opportunity. And it's right now, it's so muddied with people who are not really, that's not their forte. And it's I saw it, I can get wealthy on it, and they're taking the inventory away from the people who really can do it well and can do a service to the community. And I mean, that's our goal to doing it, is really affordable housing and getting people back into their homes and out of the streets and providing a place for people to go and not banking on this big win because, you know, you're gonna do 1 or 2 a year and you're gonna make money on that and that's all you're gonna do. No, I'm looking at doing 15 to 20 a year in making a difference in the community and really impacting the community to go, these guys are doing some good things. That's where I wanna be.
Yeah.
And that's the you know, marketplace that we're trying to walk through and be.
You're a
So-
dream maker.
Yes. and
So
another
do you have
one.
like one really bad flip story that you want to share?
He's living like right now.
I have the one I'm about to finally sell. I just got a contract on it
Well, congrats on that.
yesterday. Finally, after 3 years.
Yes.
3 years.
He closed it here
Single family?
3 years ago.
Single family.
Yes. He
Yeah.
closed, he bought it
3 years?
Yeah.
2019.
Holy
The,
crud.
So 4 contractors,
Reality.
Right.
numerous subcontractors,
Right.
Reality.
2 business partners who have walked off because they realized
money.
how difficult
Reality.
it really
Right.
was.
Yeah.
It's no joke. Like shouting matches in the kitchen with one of my contractors. You said this was going to be done last week.
Right.
It is now 4 months later. Like you said it was going to be done 4 months later. It's now 4 months
Right.
later. Like
Yeah.
how can I work with you? What
Right.
do you need?
Right.
How can I help you? Help me.
Help me, right,
Like,
for
I
sure.
felt like it literally was Tom
Yeah.
Cruise.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
just like, you don't know what it's like being me out there for you.
Yeah.
And it's like dealing with the lender and then the inspector for the lender
Oh,
and then
yeah.
Their
only
FHA,
only a certain amount of money is going to be released instead of
Correct.
the full amount because some of the baseboards weren't completely finished or
Right.
And
and
you
then
guys, this is reality.
you
What
get
he
the
is talking
appliances
about.
in and then they start painting and they didn't put plastic over the appliances. So you're sitting there scraping paint off these like
'Cause that's what you wanna do with your time.
$4,000 worth of appliances because and then you talk to the contractor, why didn't you put plastic over this? Oh yeah, we could do that. Well, why didn't you do it? Like
Right.
now I
We
get to
could have done
scrape
that.
paint off like or it's like you walk in like, okay,
It's common sense.
how much is it going to cost to redo this? Oh yeah, it'll be this, and then we get to nearing the being finished, and then there's still like doors not there,
Mhm.
whatever. I'm like, well, what about the door? Like, oh yeah, we could put a door there. I'm like, okay, what part of
All of
redoing
this.
this did not include the door?
You have to be
You've gotta-
specific to everything.
Like a surgeon,
Yes.
and
Yes.
line by line by line.
Detail.
Yeah.
Detail.
Yep.
So it's not a part-time job. This is what they make
No, it's
you
not.
think that you can do. This just kind of on the
Yes.
side where you hire a contractor.
Right.
And it's like my idea was when I drop my car off at the mechanic
Right.
to get the brakes changed or whatever.
Yes.
I don't expect to have to read a manual now about
Right.
cars to
We're
then
checking every hour to make
go
sure.
check every hour to make sure. Hey, Mike, did you get the drum and the rotor? I don't even know what a drum and a rotor is, but like,
But they're there, right?
did you do it? Like,
Yeah, right.
oh yeah, man.
Yeah.
We fixed that, and also I noticed there was a little drip of oil out of the flux capacitor. I'm like, flux capacitor? What is that?
Oh my god.
Wait, flux capacitor?
I need
is a
Google.
Some of us
thing.
could Google
Hey,
this.
Jim, I know
He's
you're a
paging through.
mechanic. Like, what's a flux capacitor? Oh, dude, the flux capacitor.
No, yeah.
What? Who told you that? Well, this mechanic. Oh, he's probably just trying to take you for a ride. Well, how do I know? Well, I could come over there, but I can't get there for 2 weeks. Oh, it's
Right.
like
It's true.
there is
It's all
so
reality.
much
You get a different kind of amp
that
Yeah.
like
talking about
oh
contracting
my
than acting.
God,
It's-
it is.
And that's not acting. I mean,
No, like-
that little display there
That
is
was
That's
real.
real.
Yeah.
That is.
Well, I'm glad you got to vent it.
100%.
No, he's charged.
Do you feel better now?
No.
Yes. You hold me.
Right. Do you need a group hug?
Literally, like as soon as this house gets sold, I PTSD from this house.
Yes.
I'm gonna go sit on a beach and just be like, mommy, mommy.
Help me!
That's fun.
Oh.
That is fun.
Oh, it's so bad.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But that is the reality. Like when Drew and I talk about this on job sites, like this is a reality that we're dealing with right now. This is
Yeah.
not acting. This is
I-
real life.
I'm only laughing because somebody else has gone through it, and I felt the exact same way he just expressed
Yeah.
was
It-
emotional about. I carry that as much with me, and I have those breakdowns, but It is.
It's like common sense stuff
You'd think.
that you would think would be taken care of. Like,
There's our $1 million idea.
where's the baseboard? Like, there's baseboard there. There's no baseboard
Right.
there. Oh yeah, we could do that. Like, what do you mean you can do that? Well, yeah, that'll be another $5,000. What?
Because you didn't tell me that you needed
What?
that done.
Like,
right?
It's
It
insanity.
is like,
Right.
wait, you only, the quote was only for half the room?
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
Oh, you want the whole?
oh, you wanted I know you wanted the
thing.
whole room. Like,
Okay.
I'll tell you the reality though. Yeah, this is hurting. I'll tell you the
Oh.
reality of this though is if our $1 million idea is if we can teach common sense. If there was a
Oh my
class
God.
on common sense,
Yeah.
a book to write or
Dude.
read on common sense, that's it.
Common
Dude.
sense for dummies.
Exactly. Exactly. Give me the common sense
That's
for
it.
dummies book. When you're painting, put plastic over the new
Yes.
appliances.
Yes.
You have to seriously think about
We put down engineered flooring.
Yes.
And then
Oh,
they
God.
started doing all this other work. The floor got ruined, and so we had to rip it
Rip up the
up
floor.
and completely
no.
replace it. Trust me. it has
Oh
been-
no! Yeah, that's a horror story. Those are not great. So we'll quickly change the topic because I don't want you
Yeah.
to seize on us right
No,
now.
Yeah.
but like I said,
It's gonna erupt here.
Yeah.
But the positive is he's got a contract and it only took 3 years. So if you can hold
Yeah.
out for 3 years to make your return on investment back, I don't think
Not to
you're gonna make
mention
money.
the neighbors.
Oh, here we go.
So
He's still
going.
going.
Neighbors calling like, hey, your guy started working before 8 a.m. You know the city ordinance is 8 a.m. Okay, sorry, I
Yeah.
will go, and I drive up there, and then I would tell like the guys who are
Yeah.
doing the stairs. Okay, guys, you can't work before 8 a.m.
Right.
And then 2 weeks later, Colin, you said they weren't going to start before. I go, no. Like, okay, so then I called my contractor. Do you have guys over there? They're like, I don't know, I'm not there. Well, why aren't you there? Like, who's there? Like, oh, that's the drywallers. Then they go up there. Then you got to tell the drywaller guys, do not start working before 8 a.m. Meanwhile, I get a call from the police or from the neighbor saying,
Yeah.
again, we're calling the police. I'd go up there and meet the police and deal with angry neighbors with like, and then they're like, oh yeah, you loser, like, what are you doing with this house? Like, you can't, you have no idea what you're doing. I'm like, I know!
I know. You win.
So how do you feel? You feel great calling me out?
Yeah.
So we all feel better now.
Exactly. You've identified my problem.
Yes.
Now what?
We all know the problem right now.
This has been wonderful. This has been absolutely wonderful. Thanks for making
Yeah.
me feel this big.
So-
That's amazing.
That's the fun you have to look forward to. Like,
Colin,
So when's
tell
the
you-
next one start?
Oh my gosh. On the 12th of never.
Yes.
I think that's when he's got it scheduled. I can't thank you enough for coming out here and spending time and chatting. I mean, I could chat with you for hours because there's just so many great stories and you've got so much knowledge and experience and I want to dive into all that and we'd love to have you come back to do this again. We really wanted to have you out here to connect all the dots and let people know that anything you dream you can do. And
Yes.
the reality is that here's somebody who's living it, and here's somebody that's relatable in our industry. He's an actor, he's an author, and he's also a real estate investor. And he doesn't do them all well. And that's the point is he doesn't do them all well, and that's okay. I mean, that's literally the message here is it's okay because he's identified that. He's made a point to say, I know each of the jobs I do, and I know what I do well and
And-
what I don't do well.
you learn from every experience.
Absolutely.
So each one, like, honestly, I feel like I've gotten my PhD in rehabbing houses. So if I do another one, I know exactly who to go to, how to structure contracts, how to make sure that these men and women are literally babysat to make sure that
It
the
is.
work gets done.
Yeah, it is a true story.
And it is a full-time job.
It is a full-time job.
It is.
It is. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
we want to thank you again for just taking the time today and being here with us out of your busy schedule of all the things that you do. And it means so much that you're out here and we do this show every week, guys. Every Thursday.
Maybe
we-
not so
we come
entertaining.
out here
It's gonna be a
and
tough one to
this,
top.
This one's gonna be tough.
It will.
I think
It
that
for sure will.
this will be out there on YouTube probably in a couple days, so make sure you guys subscribe and like. If you want to see this, if you want to rewind it and pick up some more thoughts and points and ideas that Colin dropped here, because there were just so many things that were spoken that I think you can miss.
Suffering.
Yeah. I want to live through.
I
all
want
of
that
this
slow
stuff.
motion played again.
You think your life was bad? Listen to 5 minutes of this guy.
But I think he got something off his chest. I think he's feeling
Yeah.
better.
Yes, I
Yeah.
feel so much better. It's like therapy. Thanks, guys.
This was a great therapy session for all of us, and we hope we gave back to you guys as well. Until next week, we are Inspired Title. I am Drew.
And my name is Amy.
This is Colin.
Bye, guys.
Take care, everybody.
Take care.
Well, there you have it. That is it for this week's edition of Title Talk. Be sure to head over to our Inspired YouTube page and subscribe and like. And make sure you follow the team on Instagram and Facebook. Join us again next time for more tips and knowledge from the industry pros. Thanks again for listening.